The Seamers had another good day at the Emirates Durham International Cricket Ground as the LV County Championship title favourites Durham just about kept themselves ahead of third place Sussex in another hugely important contest. Durham have done well batting first at this low-scoring ground this year, and they did so again after winning the toss. Mark Stoneman was looking to continue his excellent recent form, and he struck a couple of early boundaries off Steve McGoffin, who was always likely to be a real threat on this surface. Yet it was his opening partner James Anyon who got the breakthrough in the game's sixth over. Keaton Jennings out for two, leaving it to Stoneman to score the lion's share of the runs in the first hour or so of the day. He took three successive fours off Anyon, as again the opener looked to play his shots just as he did when scoring 100 in the vital win over title rivals Yorkshire last week. Scott Borthwick has also been in good form with the bat, but here he'd made only 9 when he edged McGoffin behind at 55 for 2. Stoneman too offered a chance win on 44. He nicked McGoffin to debutant Harry Finch, who missed the chance in the slips. That let Stoneman get to another 50, his 9th of the season. He'd required only 69 balls for this one, this being one of his 10 boundaries. Will Smith had a moment of good fortune in his knock, but he also pulled the ball extremely well as the total advanced before lunch. The average score by a side batting first in the northeast has been 281 this season, and generally that's been good enough for a first innings lead. The way Stoneman and Smith were playing now, they would have been hopeful of something a little greater than that. The score had reached 122 when Durham lost their third wicket, Smith on 32 edging an expansive drive off Anyon, which Michael Yardie clung on to at the second attempt. Now the visitors, who are certainly not out of the running for the title in spite of not being at their best in recent matches, needed to get shot of Stoneman, who is nearing his 4th championship 100 of the summer. He is the county's leading run scorer in the 4-day game too this year. He once more moved into the 90s, taking his boundary count to 16, only to be then bowled off the inside edge by Lewis Hatchett on 96, runs which have been made out of a score of 154 for 4. Hatchett then produced plenty of movement through the air to trap Paul Collingwood in front for a single, before the left armer also removed Phil Mustard, Finch this time making no mistakes in the slips. So Durham were now on 170 for 6 and perhaps needed to reposition their intent, just when Sussex, who were missing Chris Jordan for this important match as he's with the England ODI squad, thought they were squeezing their way back into this contest. They were held up by both Michael Richardson and Usman Arshad, a young man who's getting his chance due to a whole host of injuries coupled with more international call-ups. He did a fine job here in what was just his second first-class appearance as he helped Richardson put on 54 runs for the 7th wicket. The stand was ended by Anyon, who grabbed his 3rd wicket, dragging a ball back off the pitch to trap Richardson in front for 31. McGoffin then removed Arshad in the same way in the next over on 30, a wicket which left Durham struggling to get to 250 for their second batting bonus point. We will of course have to wait to see how important that may be. McGoffin then took his 57th championship wicket of the season by yorking Chris Rushworth, while Anyon claimed his 4th of the innings as Graham Onions missed pull to mid-on. Durham were 245 all out, Anyon with 4 for 87, and that gave Sussex 22 overs to come back before stumps were drawn. They now had an early life as Luke Wells was put down by Mustard off Rushworth. A miss which looked as if it might be quite significant as Wells and Chris Nash then got the innings moving with a stand of 28. Big partnerships have been difficult to earn in Durham this summer, and so Sussex will have been relatively pleased with their start. But they then lost 2 wickets in the space of 4 deliveries from the returning Onions. He had Nash caught at slip by Collingwood, and he then removed Yardie for a duck with an LBW decision. Onions, who's been missing with a broken finger, then found support from Mitch Claydon, called back from his loan spell at Kent because of Durham's injury concerns. He bowled Joe Gatting for 16, which left it to Wells and the night watchman Anyon to see out the final 20 minutes. something they would have been pleased to do. It means that a very big day is on the cards for day 2. Sussex will resume their first innings on 60 for 3, and that leaves them 185 runs behind and with a little work to do to restore parity. If they don't and the home side edge ahead, they may be very tough to stop both in this match and in the race for the title.